Interest rate parity implies that the expected return on domestic assets equals the expected return on foreign currency assets when adjusted for exchange rates. This means, for example, that one would be indifferent between holding bank deposits in two different countries. There are two types of interest rate parity conditions: uncovered interest rate parity and covered interest rate parity. When the no arbitrage condition holds without the use of forward contracts, we have uncovered interest rate parity. When it holds with the use of forward contracts, we have covered interest rate parity. Because of the use of forward contracts, the covered version implies little to no exchange risks compared to the uncovered version. Even though there is less empirical evidence to support the uncovered version, both conditions are widely used in different macroeconomic models. If the no arbitrage interest rate parity condition holds without the use of forward contracts, this implies that changes in exchange rates are due to interest rate disparities. The exchange rate adjusted return on any two currencies will be the same, as capital gains due to changes in exchange rates equal the difference in interest gain. The formula helps explain UIP further. On the left side, you have the dollar return on dollar deposits, and on the right side, you have the dollar return on foreign deposits. Because this condition does not take exchange risk into account and uses expected future spot exchange rates, the empirical evidence suggests that it rarely holds. Despite this, UIP is helpful in calculating expected spot exchange rates using the interest rate differential in different models. If the no arbitrage interest rate parity condition holds with the forward contracts, this implies that currency forward contracts are priced using the interest rate on foreign and domestic currencies. The formula replaces expectations of future spot exchange rates with the price of forward contracts. Empirical evidence suggests CIP holds much more often than the UIP. Covered interest parity is therefore helpful in pricing forward contracts using the interest rate differential. In order to test the uncovered interest rate parity condition, we used historical euro-dollar spot rates and historical euro-dollar interest rates. The first step is calculating the expected future spot rates. Then, we compare the expected future spot rates with the realized future spot rates to see if the UIP holds. In this graph, you can see the comparison between estimated changes in the spot currency rate and the realized change in the spot currency rate. The graph shows different estimation errors of UIP when using 1, 3, 6, and 12-month rates respectively. Both the estimation error average and the standard deviations are quite high, showing that uncovered interest rate parity condition does not usually hold in practice. The covered interest rate parity condition is tested in a similar way. We need historical euro-dollar spot rates, historical euro and dollar interest rates, and historical euro-dollar forward prices. The first step is calculating expected future spot rates as in the UIP condition, as these represent estimated forward prices. Second, we compare the estimated forward prices with the historical forward prices. The graph clearly shows that estimation errors for covered interest rate parity are much lower than for the UIP, suggesting that CIP holds much better in practice compared to the UIP. The average estimation errors are less than 0.5% and standard deviation are less than 0.2%. Uncovered interest rate parity clearly fails to forecast spot exchange rates. One of the main reasons for this is because it fails to take exchange risk into account. CIP holds much better than UIP, but still doesn't perfectly estimate forward contract prices because it doesn't take into account issues such as transaction costs, regulation differences, or tax treatment differences between countries. When both the UIP and CIP hold, putting the two together gives an equation that says forward contract prices equals expected future spot exchange rates. Research provides both support and counterarguments for this equation, as evidence is mixed.